The Dominion warship Eternal Authority emerged from hyperspace in a flash of brilliant light, its obsidian hull designed to strike fear into the hearts of primitive civilizations. High Commander Vexthor stood on the bridge, his crystalline exoskeleton gleaming under the soft purple lighting. This would be his 14th first contact mission, and like all others before, it would end with another species pledging allegiance to the Dominion's vast empire. Earth's blue marble hung before them, seemingly peaceful and insignificant. Vexthor's secondary hearts pulsed with anticipation as he reviewed the preliminary scans. The humans had barely reached their moon, had no unified planetary government, and still relied on primitive fossil fuels. This would be almost too easy. High Commander, his chief communications officer, Zix, announced, "We're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. It's being broadcast on multiple frequencies, including something called tick-tock." Vexthor's antenna twitched in confusion. Tick-tock? Is that some kind of temporal weapon? Before Zix could respond, the main view screen activated. Instead of the expected terrified planetary leaders, a young human female appeared, wearing what seemed to be casual attire and holding some kind of beverage in a cup marked Starbucks. "Hey, space friends," she beamed, waving enthusiastically. "I'm Sarah Chen, Earth's social media ambassador. Sorry about the informal greeting, but you're trending like crazy right now, and my followers would kill me if I didn't go live. Love the ship, by the way. Very Darth Vader meets brutalist architecture. Totally aesthetic." Vexthor's mandibles clicked in frustration. "I am High Commander Vexthor of the Dominion Fleet. Your planet stands before the might of the greatest empire the galaxy has ever known. We demand—" "Oh my God, you guys have to see this," Sarah interrupted, turning her camera to show a holographic display behind her. "Look at these memes already. Someone photoshopped your ship into that 'Don't talk to me or my son ever again' format with the International Space Station. It's got like 5 million likes already." The bridge crew of the Eternal Authority exchanged bewildered looks. This was not proceeding according to any first contact protocol they had studied. "We are not here for your entertainment," Vexthor declared, his voice rising with authority. "The Dominion demands." "Hold that thought." Sarah's eyes lit up as she checked another screen. "We're getting so many collaboration requests. Would you guys be interested in doing a sponsored content deal? The folks at Galaxy Drink, they're an energy beverage company, want to know if they can use your ship's design for their nuke and artwork. They're offering pretty competitive rates, and I could help negotiate." Vexthor slumped in his command chair, his fearsome appearance somewhat diminished by his obvious confusion. "Zix, explain to me what is happening." His communications officer was frantically scanning through Earth's information networks. "Sir, it appears the humans have something called social media where they share information. And, sir, they're already selling unauthorized merchandise with our ship's image. Someone called Etsy is offering handmade plush toys of you. They're calling them space lobster plushies." "I am not a lobster," Vexthor thundered, only to see Sarah squeal with delight. "Oh my gosh, that reaction was perfect. Do you mind if I use that as a soundbite? It would make an amazing TikTok trend. Just imagine. People could use it for all sorts of relatable content, like when someone mistakes your coffee order, or when your mom calls your gaming setup a Nintendo." The mighty High Commander of the Dominion Fleet, conqueror of 1,000 worlds, found himself completely lost for words. His carefully planned intimidation strategy lay in ruins, shattered by something called trending topics and viral content. "Sir," his tactical officer reported grimly, "Earth's primary defense appears to be something called meme warfare. Our cultural analysis computers are overwhelmed trying to process the sheer volume of user-generated content about us. And, sir, we're being tagged in something called Instagram Reels." Sarah was still chattering enthusiastically. "So I've set up a preliminary meeting with our diplomatic team. They're super chill. Don't worry. We're thinking casual business brunch vibes. Hope you like avocado toast. Oh, and HR wanted me to ask about your preferred pronouns and any dietary restrictions. We want to make sure everyone feels included. Vexthor, veteran of countless space battles and diplomatic conquests, felt a headache building in all three of his brains. He had expected resistance, perhaps even military opposition, but nothing in his centuries of experience had prepared him for this assault of cheerful informality and social media engagement metrics. And one more thing, Sarah added, her expression suddenly serious. We've got to talk about your ship's carbon footprint. Have you guys considered switching to renewable energy? We've got some amazing startups working on solar sail technology. I could totally connect you with their sustainability teams. As his crew struggled to process this bizarre turn of events, Vexthor made a mental note to update the Dominion's first contact protocols. Clearly, they needed a new chapter on dealing with species that turned cosmic intimidation into viral marketing opportunities. Sir, Zix ventured carefully. Should I prepare our standard threats of planetary annihilation? Vexthor watched as Sarah excitedly showed them a cute Instagram filter that added sparkly antennae to photos. No, Zix, I have a feeling threats would just end up as something called a meme template. Instead, what exactly is this avocado toast the human mentioned? 2 standard cycles had passed since the Eternal Authority's arrival, and High Commander Vexthor was no closer to understanding humans. He sat in his private quarters, surrounded by holographic displays of Earth's media coverage, each one more baffling than the last. Computer, explain again what a space Karen is, and why humans keep calling me that. The ship's AI struggled to respond. Based on current social media trends, the term appears to be a combination of space and Karen, the latter being the colloquial term for someone who demands to speak to the manager. Vexthor's antennae drooped. But I am the manager. I'm the High Commander of the Dominion fleet. That appears to be precisely why the term is being applied, sir. The situation had only grown more complex since their arrival. The Dominion's standard intimidation tactics had backfired spectacularly. When they had positioned their warships in threatening formations above major cities, humans had organized spaceship watching parties with picnic baskets and telescopes. Their demonstration of planet-destroying weapons had somehow been turned into a viral dance challenge called the Apocalypse Groove. A gentle chime announced the arrival of his cultural analysis officer, Mira 7, a being of pure energy contained within an environmental suit. Sir, I have the latest report on human social responses to our presence. Please tell me they're finally taking us seriously. Vexthor sighed. Well, Mira 7's light patterns shifted uncomfortably. Remember the warning message you broadcast globally yesterday? The one about the consequences of defying the Dominion. Yes? What about it? Humans have auto-tuned it. It's currently the #1 song on something called Spotify. They're calling it Alien Drop the Bass. There are already several hundred remix versions, including one with something called Lo-Fi Beats to Study and Conquer Planets too. Vexthor's exoskeleton changed color in distress, but it was a threat of planetary annihilation. The beats are quite catchy, sir. Several crew members have been caught humming it during their shifts. The situation in the diplomatic sphere wasn't any better. The Dominion's attempts at formal negotiations had been consistently derailed by what humans called cultural exchange initiatives. Their last meeting had turned into an impromptu cooking show when Earth's representatives insisted on teaching Dominion diplomats how to make something called memes, both the internet kind and, inexplicably, something called sushi memes, which were apparently just regular sushi, but arranged to look like popular internet images. There's more, sir, Mira 7 continued. Our psychological warfare division is requesting additional mental health support. What? Why? They've been monitoring human entertainment channels as part of their research. After binge-watching something called cat videos for 48 hours straight, half the team has declared that they no longer wish to conquer Earth because, and I quote, Kitty's too precious must protect. Vexthor rubbed his crystalline forehead. Surely our economic pressure tactics are working. About that, Mira 7's glow dimmed slightly. Remember how we threatened to withhold advanced technology unless Earth submitted to our rule? Humans have started a global competition called Reverse Engineering Reality Show. Teams of engineers try to figure out how our tech works, but with random twist challenges like build it using only parts from a thrift store or make it sustainable using bamboo. How is that even possible? Sir, one team successfully replicated our quantum communication device using an old microwave, 3 smartphones, and something called a Arduino. They didn't even need the Arduino. They just thought it would be fun to include it. The commander's display pinged with a new notification. Sarah Chen, the persistently cheerful social media ambassador, was requesting another meeting. The last time, she had convinced 3 of his senior officers to participate in something called a Tag Yourself meme template featuring different types of alien invaders. There's one more thing you should know, sir, Mira 7 added hesitantly. Remember the formal declaration of our species' superiority you issued last week? Yes, humans have turned it into what they call a copy pasta. They're using it to respond to minor inconveniences on their social media platforms. Someone used it to complain about their coffee order being wrong this morning. It got 500,000 likes. Vexthor stared out his viewport at the blue planet below. The Dominion had conquered countless civilizations through fear, intimidation, and displays of overwhelming technological superiority. But how do you intimidate a species that turns your threats into dance moves? How do you impose your will on a planet that responds to warnings of destruction with memes and merchandising opportunities? Sir, Mira 7 ventured. The human Sarah Chen is suggesting we try something called Instagram Reels to improve our public image. She says our ship would make an excellent backdrop for something called Outfit of the Day posts. The mighty High Commander of the Dominion Fleet, conqueror of 1,000 worlds, found himself wondering if perhaps it was time to update the Empire's entire approach to galactic conquest. Clearly, their current methods weren't working against a species that had weaponized social media and turned informal diplomacy into an art form. Mira 7, he said finally, schedule a meeting with Sarah. And, could you explain to me what exactly a FOMO is? She keeps saying we're giving her followers that. As his cultural officer began explaining yet another bewildering human concept, Vexthor couldn't help but wonder if somewhere, in all the ancient texts of the Dominion, there was a protocol for dealing with a civilization that simply refused to be intimidated because they were too busy having fun with the whole invasion thing. The Dominion's flagship conference room had been transformed in ways that made High Commander Vexthor question everything he knew about interstellar diplomacy. Gone were the intimidating dark metals and harsh lighting designed to strike fear into potential subjects. Instead, the space now featured what humans called a startup vibe, complete with beanbag chairs, a ping-pong table, and a wall covered in post-it notes with buzzwords like synergy and disruptive innovation. As you can see, Sarah Chen was saying, now sporting a blazer over her usual casual attire, we've prepared a comprehensive pitch deck for potential collaboration opportunities. She gestured to a holographic display showing what appeared to be a corporate presentation template with animated transitions that made Vexthor's third eye twitch. This is not a business meeting, he insisted. This is supposed to be surrender negotiations. Exactly. Sarah beamed. And we're surrendering ourselves to the incredible possibilities of interstellar commerce. Now, if you'll direct your attention to slide 3, you'll see our proposed revenue streams. Beside her stood Marcus Wong, Earth's newly appointed Chief Innovation Officer for Extraterrestrial Relations, wearing a t-shirt that read "Move fast and break planetary barriers." We've already secured Series A funding from several venture capital firms, Marcus explained, swiping through various charts. They're particularly excited about our plans to reverse engineer your quantum drive technology for the rideshare market. We're calling it Uber Space. Zix, who had been monitoring Earth's financial networks, leaned toward his commander. "Sir, they've somehow already filed patents for technologies we haven't even shown them yet." "How is that possible?" Vexthor demanded. "Apparently their patent lawyers are, and I quote, built different." The presentation continued as Sarah and Marcus outlined increasingly audacious proposals. They wanted to turn the Dominion's planet-destroying weapons into renewable energy sources. Think solar power, but spicier. Adapt their universal translator technology for a language learning app. Dueling Galaxy. The owl mascot will wear a cute space helmet and somehow use their faster-than-light drive technology to improve food delivery services. Just imagine, Marcus said excitedly, getting authentic Martian cuisine delivered to your door in under 30 minutes or it's free. "There is no cuisine on Mars," Vexthor exclaimed. "Not yet," Sarah winked. "But we're already in talks with several celebrity chefs about fusion restaurants. Gordon Ramsay is very interested in working with your species' crystalline cooking techniques." The meeting was interrupted by Mira 7, who floated in with an urgent report. "Sir, we have a situation. Remember those humans we allowed to tour our engineering deck as a show of intimidating technological superiority?" "Yes. They've started 3 companies based on their observations, filed 27 patents, and one of them has already appeared on something called Shark Tank. They're calling it SpaceX, but make it fashion." Vexthor's exoskeleton began to develop stress fractures. The Dominion had expected Earth's surrender to their superior technology. Instead, humans were turning their entire invasion into a business opportunity. "Oh, that reminds me." Sarah pulled up another slide. "We've been getting a lot of interest from influencers about your personal brand, Commander Vexthor. Have you considered starting a LinkedIn profile? Your leadership experience conquering thousands of worlds would make for some really engaging content about management strategies." "I am a military commander, not a content creator." "That's exactly the kind of disruptive thinking that gets you speaking engagements at TED Talks." Marcus nodded approvingly. "Which, by the way, we've already penciled you in for next month. The theme is redefining workplace culture across the cosmos." The situation deteriorated further when a group of Earth's angel investors arrived, each eager to pitch their own ideas for monetizing the Dominion's technology. One wanted to turn their neural network interfaces into a dating app. Swipe right for your soulmate across space-time. Another suggested adapting their quantum entanglement communicators for a social media platform. It's like Twitter, but the bad takes spread faster than light. "Sir," Zix reported, looking up from his datapad with concern, "humans have somehow created a cryptocurrency based on the energy output of our main reactor. They're calling it Invader Coin. It's already worth more than their Bitcoin." Vexthor slumped in his chair, a ergonomic office chair that someone had swapped for his commanding throne, claiming it was better for his core engagement or something. "And here's the best part," Sarah continued, pulling up the final slide. "We've already got merchandise ready to go. Look at these plushies of your flagship." She hugged a soft toy version of the Eternal Authority, complete with light-up features and a recorded message that played his threats in a cute chipmunk voice. "We're thinking of pitching it to Disney," Marcus added. "They're very interested in the family-friendly potential of a galactic invasion. How do you feel about musical numbers?" As the meeting devolved into a discussion about potential theme park rides based on their warships, Vexthor realized that the Dominion had severely miscalculated. They had expected to find a primitive civilization, ready to bow before their superior technology. Instead, they had encountered a species that looked at the most advanced weapons in the galaxy and asked, "But can we make it an app?" "One last thing," Sarah said, checking her phone. "Our social media team thinks we should do a collaboration video. How do you feel about learning the Macarena? We think it would really humanize the whole implacable space conqueror image." Somewhere in the vast archives of the Dominion, Vexthor thought, there had to be a protocol for dealing with a species that treated galactic conquest like a startup opportunity. But until he found it, he had apparently been signed up for dance lessons. The Dominion's war room aboard the Eternal Authority had been designed to strike terror into the hearts of enemies across the galaxy. Instead, High Commander Vexthor found himself staring at a holographic display of Earth's latest defense strategy, which appeared to involve something called weaponized dad jokes and tactical memes. "Sir," his military advisor, General Cathax, reported grimly, "the humans have responded to our battle formation with interpretive dance." What? The hologram showed Earth's combined fleet arranged in a pattern that made no tactical sense until viewed from above, at which point it clearly depicted a smiling face with a winking emoji. Their ships were executing complex maneuvers that somehow matched the rhythm of "Never Gonna Give You Up" being broadcast on all frequencies. "They're calling it space ballet," Cathax continued, his warrior mandibles clicking in confusion. "And according to their public channels, they're selling tickets." Vexthor's previous attempts at military intimidation had all backfired spectacularly. When they had deployed their feared sonic disruptors, humans had turned the frequencies into a new music genre called alien dubstep. Their demonstration of advanced cloaking technology had somehow spawned a global game of interstellar hide-and-seek, complete with a mobile app and worldwide leaderboard. "What about the quantum torpedoes?" Vexthor asked hopefully. "Surely they fear those." Mira 7 floated into the war room, her energy form flickering with what looked suspiciously like suppressed laughter. "About that, sir, the humans have started a social media challenge called Torpedo Test Tuesday. They're posting videos of themselves dodging our weapons while doing something called sick dance moves. But those are the most advanced weapons in the galaxy. The current trend is to do something called the worm as the torpedo passes overhead. It's quite impressive timing, actually." The situation had reached a critical point. The Dominion's traditional military doctrine was useless against a species that treated warfare like a TikTok challenge. Their last attempt at a show of force had ended with humans organizing a tailgate party in the projected impact zone, complete with barbecue and something called fantasy alien invasion leaks. "Sir," Zix called from his communication station, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth's Department of Defense Gaming Division." The main screen activated to show a young lieutenant wearing a headset and sitting in what appeared to be a gaming chair. Behind her, a team of people in military uniforms were gathered around multiple screens displaying what looked like video game interfaces. "Hey there, Commander Vexthor," the lieutenant waved. "Just wanted to let you know that we've finished analyzing your battle eyes patterns. Our esports team says it's actually pretty similar to the final boss in Space Invaders. Oh, and our speedrunners have already found some interesting exploits in your targeting systems." Vexthor's exoskeleton paled. "Our battle AI took millennia to perfect. It cannot be compared to a primitive entertainment program. Tell that to XXNO-Scope 420XX, the lieutenant grinned. "He's already developed a counter-strategy based on something called Rushing B. We're calling it Pro Gamer Moves, Orbital Defense Edition." The war room erupted in chaos as reports flooded in. Humans had somehow turned their orbital defense grid into an augmented reality game, with civilians contributing to planetary defense while thinking they were playing something called Pokémon Go Space Force Edition. Their counterintelligence efforts consisted mainly of posting misleading memes about their capabilities, making it impossible to separate actual military intelligence from something called shitposting. "Sir," Cathax reported, "their latest defense strategy appears to be a bunch of autonomous drones programmed to recreate something called Frogger with our fighter squadrons. And they're effective. Our pilots are getting frustrated. Apparently, the drones play something called yakety sax when evading pursuit." The final straw came when Sarah Chen's latest diplomatic message arrived, suggesting they turn the entire conflict into an esports tournament. "Think about it," she enthused. "We could stream it on Twitch. Winner gets planetary sovereignty. Loser has to do a redemption arc charity stream. We're already getting sponsorship offers from energy drink companies. Vexthor stared at his assembled war council, the finest military minds in the Dominion, now completely baffled by a species that had turned interstellar warfare into a combination of performance art and competitive gaming. Sir, Mira 7 ventured carefully, there's one more thing. Remember those quantum-encrypted command codes we use to control our fleet? Yes, humans have turned them into a rhythm game. They're calling it Dance Dance Revolution, Galactic Edition. Some teenager in Korea has already achieved a perfect score. As the war room descended into barely controlled chaos, Vexthor realized that the Dominion's entire approach to warfare might need reconsidering. They had prepared for every possible military scenario except one. A species that refused to take combat seriously because they were having too much fun with it. Oh, and Commander, the lieutenant added cheerfully, our Minecraft players have finished their 1-to-1 scale replica of your flagship. They've added some decorative touches. Hope you don't mind. The cat ears on the bridge were very popular with the community. Somewhere in the vast military archives of the Dominion, Vexthor thought, there had to be a protocol for dealing with a species that turned orbital combat into a speedrunning challenge. But until he found it, he apparently needed to learn what Git Gut meant, because humans kept spamming it in response to his battle strategies. High Commander Vexthor sat in what used to be his intimidating throne room, now redecorated with string lights and houseplants, because someone named Marie Kondo had suggested it would spark joy. The past few months had completely upended everything he thought he knew about galactic conquest. The Dominion's fearsome reputation, built over millennia of successful invasions, had been thoroughly undermined by humanity's inexplicable ability to turn every threat into an opportunity for entertainment, profit, or both. Sir, Zix announced, the humans have sent their final response to our ultimatum. Let me guess, they turned it into another meme. Actually, they've invited us to something called a TE Talk. They want you to be the keynote speaker. The title is From Conquest to Connection: How Earth's Memes Saved the Galaxy. Vexthor's antennae drooped. He'd spent the last week watching his mighty invasion force being gradually transformed by human influence. His fearsome warriors were now participating in something called Casual Friday. The engineering deck had started a book club. Even the ship's A had developed a peculiar obsession with cat videos. Sarah Chen materialized on the main screen, now sporting a professional look that somehow still included a shirt with a pun about quantum physics. Commander, great news. Your LinkedIn profile has gone viral. Turns out Galactic Conqueror is a really impressive job title in the tech industry. We've got dozens of startup founders asking for mentorship opportunities. We are supposed to be your overlords, Vexthor protested weakly. Not your social media influencers. About that, Sarah grinned. We've been thinking, instead of this whole conquest thing, what if we explored a different kind of relationship? We've prepared a presentation. The screen filled with what humans called a PowerPoint deck. Mira 7, who had somehow become Earth's biggest fan aboard the ship, began the explanation. The humans propose a cultural exchange program, she said, her energy form practically bouncing with excitement. They want to share their memes. We share our technology. They teach us about social media marketing. We teach them about quantum physics. They're calling it Space Force meets Task Force. Apparently that's a reference to something called influencer culture. Marcus Wong joined the call, wearing a t-shirt that read, "Make space friends, not space war." Think about it, he said enthusiastically. We've already got several successful collaborations. Your battle cruiser designs are trending on Pinterest in the home office inspiration category. 3 of your tactical officers have become YouTube stars with their Reacting to Earth Movies channel. And let's not forget about the massive success of Alien Chef, Intergalactic Food Wars. It was true. Somehow, the Dominion's attempt at showing superior alien cuisine had turned into a hit cooking show. Their head chef was now a celebrity, complete with merchandising deals and a catchphrase. That's not just atomic heat. That's quantum flavor. But what about the Empire's reputation? Vex Thor asked. We're supposed to be feared across the galaxy. Oh, that's the best part. Sarah beamed. Your approval ratings have skyrocketed since we started the meme campaign. Turns out people really relate to an alien empire learning to chill out. We're calling it the Great Galactic Rebrand. The marketing team is really excited about the potential for merchandise. Speaking of which, those plushies of you doing the Macarena are selling like crazy. The evidence was undeniable. Every attempt to dominate Earth had instead resulted in unprecedented cultural exchange. Their fearsome battle recordings had been remixed into chart-topping dance hits. Their ancient military protocols had been adapted into a best-selling business leadership book, The Art of Space War, Understanding Cosmic Corporate Culture. Even their threatening broadcasts had become popular ASMR content. Sir, General Kthax reported, looking unusually relaxed in what appeared to be a yoga outfit, the crew's stress levels have decreased by 73% since we started implementing human work-life balance concepts. Also, the meditation app we developed using our quantum consciousness technology just hit 1 million downloads. Vex Thor looked around his command room. His once fearsome warriors were now discussing weekend plans and sharing pictures of their pets. The ship's formerly oppressive atmosphere had been replaced with what humans called positive vibes. Even the dreaded Eternal Authority had been affectionately nicknamed the Space Fam by its crew. And here's the thing, Sarah continued, her expression softening. You came here expecting to find a primitive civilization to conquer. Instead, you found something much more valuable. A species that can teach the galaxy how to laugh at itself, find joy in the unexpected, and turn any situation into an opportunity for connection. Also, Marcus added, we've figured out how to use your quantum technology to optimize coffee delivery. We're calling it Starbucks Quantum Edition. The beta testing results are very promising. As Vex Thor contemplated this complete upheaval of Dominion philosophy, he realized something profound. In all their millennia of conquest, they had never encountered a species quite like humans, a civilization that met overwhelming force, not with fear or resistance, but with creativity, humor, and an inexplicable ability to turn everything into content. So, Sarah concluded, what do you say? Partners in intergalactic cultural exchange. We already have a hashtag ready. #SpaceEBFS. Looking at his transformed crew, his revolutionized ship, and the utterly unintimidated planet below, Vex Thor made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. Very well, he said, trying to maintain some semblance of his former gravitas. But I have one condition. Name it. Can you explain to me what this YEET thing means? The younger officers keep saying it during quantum torpedo launches, and I'm afraid to ask them. As the humans eagerly began explaining yet another aspect of their bewildering culture, Vex Thor realized that perhaps this was the true path to galactic unity, not through conquest and intimidation, but through memes, social media, and the occasional viral dance challenge. And somewhere in the vast archives of the Dominion, a new protocol was being written. When encountering a civilization that responds to threats with TikTok trends, the best course of action is to simply join their group chat.